Hey guys, what's up? Excuse me. I'm going to show you guys how to do a cool trick called Flipin card. It was a collaboration actually between me and Gavin5222531. I sounded kind of robotic there. But yeah, me and him kind of worked on a trick, try and make a really cool trick, and he actually did the performance a few days ago, Wednesday, maybe Tuesday, one of those days, a little earlier on the week, and I'm going to be doing the tutorial for it. So if you have not seen the trick, click on the deck. I will not be doing the performance, I'll only be doing the tutorial. So click on the deck, and if you didn't, there'll be a link down below. Alright. And while you're at it, while you're checking that out, why don't you just go ahead and subscribe to him. He should have a few more subscribers, I think. He has some cool videos. Alright, so let's get started with the trick. So, it is impromptu. So you can shuffle the deck as much as you want, as much as you like. It doesn't really matter. Oh! I tried to shuffle in midair, it didn't work. I haven't quite. There we go. I'm still not the best at shuffling in midair yet. Okay, sorry. So now for the trick. Give it some cuts, whatever you want. Alright, so now you have them select a card. So you spread out, have them select a card. Let's say they choose this one. You flip it over and say, okay, Jack of Clubs. Now this is what you do. I think it's like Classic Pass Variation 3 or something like that. I can't remember the name of it. But it's difficult for me. I'm not able to do it exactly correct. I can't quite do it, but I know how it's done. Alright? So, from right here, you take the Jack, flip it over, and then when you're squaring it up, you kind of you drop all the cards on the ground. No, sorry. That was bad. That's what I mean when I'm not very good. I drop the cards a lot. Okay, so the Jack is still right there. Alright? So you're like this. Flip over the Jack. As you're squaring up the deck, you take this one and kind of extend it. So what you're doing is when you extend it, you are actually taking the bottom packet and kind of putting it on top, so that way their card gets to the top. Like I said, I'm not the best at doing this maneuver. So don't be giving me hate, be like, why are you doing a tutorial if you don't know how to do the move, man? I already know I don't know how to do the move correctly, but I know how it's done. As simple as that. Alright, so it's like this. Flip over the Jack, square it up, and kind of, you want to somehow get that motion looking not as suspicious as it does, because that does look kind of suspicious when I do it. So you want to work on that. Kind of just flip it over, square it up, and kind of maybe turn your wrist over like that, so that way it looks natural. Anyway, get the Jack to the top using that maneuver. I'm sorry if I can't quite show you the perfect example of how to do it. Then if you want, you can give some false cuts, some shuffles maintaining the top card, because their card is on the top. There you go. Alright, still right there. So then what you do is say, okay, watch. Alright, snap my fingers, your card pops to the top. But that's not the cool thing, because so many people can do that. It's so easy to do. So then what you do, take the Jack, say, okay, we're going to take the Jack and put it in the middle. So then you put it in the middle. If you want, you can do it in the front too. It's a little bit more difficult to do. But basically what you're doing is, you can put it in the back, say, alright, see, that's about the middle, right? See, your card, Jack of Hearts, about the middle. And when you're squaring it up, you push it upwards like this. That way you can get, when you're squaring it up, you can get a break. And their card is right there. On top of the break. No, under the break. No, on top of the break. There we go. So their card's right there, you have the break right here. So then you can do a reverse table cut. Before I do that, if you want to do, instead of doing it in the back, you can do it in the front, say right here. Okay, Jack of Hearts. And then when you're pushing it in, pull it upwards, like that, so you can get a break. It's a little more difficult to do, and it's a little more obvious. Because when you go like that, if you're obviously pushing it upwards, it kind of lifts the deck up. So it's a lot easier to do it from the back, because it's not as obvious. If you just go like that and kind of go like that, it's a lot easier to get the break. Either way, you want to get the card in the middle of the deck. Ugh, sorry about that. You want to get the card in the middle of the deck and push it upwards like this, creating a gap, and then get the break, just like that. Alright? Then you do a reverse table cut. So you take all the cards from the break, including their card, put it on the table, and then do as many cuts as you want, just like that. So that way their card's on the bottom. If you want, you can give some shuffles. Just don't flash the bottom card, like that. Then what you do is you kind of hold the deck like this, okay? Hold the deck kind of an awkward looking position, like this. Because what you're going to do is you're going to palm the jack, the jack of hearts. Whoa, excuse me again, I got hiccups. You're going to palm the jack of hearts. Again, I'm not 100% on performing this, but you're going to be talking, holding the deck like that. It might look a little awkward, obviously, but that's how you get the card to where you need it to go. So you say, okay, this deck is not like any other deck. It's different, because with other decks, in order to find your card, you have to be some sort of mentalist and crazy magician and all that stuff. But this one is a lot easier to find your card. So all you have to do is give it a few cuts, and then what you do is you go like this, and you kind of take the jack off. Alright? You palm the jack. So you're in this position, like that. You say, okay, you just have to give the deck a couple of cuts. And you're palming the card. You don't want to flash it. Don't want to be like that, obviously. Just kind of like this. Try to make it look as natural as possible. You know, it's kind of hard when you have a freaking card in your hand. But you want to try to look as normal as possible. Don't be like, argh! I bet my card. I didn't think about that. Okay. You want to have your hand look as normal as possible. Just kind of a relaxed position. And then what you do is say, okay, we're going to have to give us a couple of cuts. And so what you do here is you take one card, and you put it on top of their card. Okay? A little more difficult to do, like I said. Just kind of, okay, we have to give it a couple of cuts. So you put one card on top of their card, and then just peel some cards from the bottom, like this. Square the deck up and give it a cut. And then give it some more cuts. Say, okay, we just have to give it a few cuts, just like this. You want to make sure you don't end up cutting to their card. It's a little bit difficult. But hopefully you don't cut to their card, because that would be kind of embarrassing. So let's give the deck some cuts. And we want to make the cuts look like how you did before. So you don't want to do one cut like that and then just go to swing cuts, because that would look a little suspicious. So you want to do a few cuts like this first before you go into any other cuts. So there's a few cuts like this, and you say, okay, actually let me give a few more cuts like that, and then you say, watch, your card is the only one that's face up in the deck, like that. And yeah, that's all. That's the trick. That's Flipin card. Hope you guys enjoyed. Again, check out the performance by Gavin522531 and subscribe to him. Yeah. So that's all from me. I hope I didn't confuse you with this explanation. And if you still do not know how to do the trick, either send a message to me or Gavin522531, and we'll try to help you as best as we can. Yeah, or post a comment, whichever one you want. Yeah, that's all from me, and I'll see you guys next time.